That way, you got a minute. You got a minute. You can share it if you want to. It should be coming on.
Okay, I'm going to switch to my Facebook page here. So. I need to go to the Fripp and Folly page.
Yep. Okay. You can share it wherever you'd like. Yep. 6:59. We'll wait on everybody to get rolling. And we should be about ready to... Let me get my volume cut down on my phone so...
Okay.
So text or calls or whatever won't be coming through. Get that done. And it is 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Hello, Mr. Ryan Letterman. Ryan Letterman's already in. I think he comes in here about 5 o'clock and waits on us to get here. Hey, welcome to the
that's good.
To the Fripp and Folly Outdoors podcast, brought to you by Fripp Outdoors, the makers of some of the finest t-shirts that you can get anywhere. Just really nice apparel for the outdoorsman. If you're a sportsman, if you love the outdoors, I guarantee you Fripp can make a shirt for you guys that just fits your needs. Today we're talking with Mr. Tom Hankins. Tom, as I knew Tom, he was a guide, and we did some great fishing together, but now he is a tournament crappie angler with the American Crappie Trail. And as you can see here with Fripp, we've even got some cool t-shirts with a stringer crappie on them. So, I mean, we can just make anything you want. Fripp Outdoors, where is your adventure? All right, Mr. Tom Hankins, as it says right there, we're going to be talking crappie. What is the American Crappie Trail? What's the deal with that?
Hey, American Crappie Trail has taken tournament fishing to the next level. You know, I've cut my teeth through Crappie USA and stuff, fine organization. But if anybody out there wants to get started in fishing crappie tournaments, I suggest fishing some local club tournaments. Me and Jim Raymer back in 2010 started the Indiana Slab Masters. That's really where I got my start. It really allowed me to hone my skills going out fishing all these different lakes across Indiana, lakes I've never fished before. So it really made me get dialed in on reading maps and stuff like that, using Google Earth tools that's available to everybody. But then I went to Fishing Crappie USA, was very successful with Crappie USA Trail. That was started last year. Very first tournament last year was early March. Me and my tournament, we were fortunate enough to ever American Crappie Trail tournament on Grenada Lake, Mississippi, a lake we'd never been on before. So anybody out there, you know, can come and fish with us and feel like they have a fighting chance of American Crappie Trail. He's put some rules in place that's never been done before in crappie tournaments. There's a 10-day off limits for every tournament, and there's no information sharing. So if you've got some buddies out there fishing these lakes that you can't be on, they can't go out there and fish it every day before they tell you where the fish are.
Yeah.
At the end of every
hang on just a second. Hang on just a second, Tom. I know y'all can.
Anyone that's getting a check, there's going to be a playing field.
I know y'all can hear him kind of breaking up a little bit. This is what happens when you're on a hotel Wi-Fi. He's in Potosi, Missouri, and at a Holiday Inn Express, and it seems like everybody is on Wi-Fi. So that's how it's kind of breaking up just a little bit. So, you know, that just happens. I mean, that's what I face every week, is something to do with the internet on here to bring this to you guys. And this is a really cool platform, and I want to be able to pull this off to where we can do a lot of these with different types of anglers and techniques and everything. It's fun. But when you're dealing with the internet, I mean, you would think in the year 2018, see, he looks to me like he's just froze up right there. It froze up with a smile. But it's just an aggravating thing. So just hang with us, and hopefully there'll be a few people get off the internet right there so they can get the squirrel running on the conveyor belt right there and get a little more juice flowing in here, because he's having to sit in the lobby because he didn't have any connection at all in his room. So, Tom, are you still with us? Can you hear okay? See, he's froze up right now. You okay? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm here.
Okay, so you're okay. You can.
I'm here.
You guys, shoot me a message if you can hear him.
Yeah, I'd like to know. I don't want to be stuttering too bad.
Well, it already sounds like you're doing that some. So, but we're just attributing that to your age, you know. So, but anyway, you talk about the American Crappie Trail. What a great affiliation that is, and you said I think I heard that you had a 10-day off limit to give everybody a fair shot. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a level playing field whenever we show up. Lake Sweep, Neely Henry was our first tournament in 2018. Never been on before, but you know, it was successful. We cashed a check for 7th place. What's crazy is the 7th place check was $1,500. So these payouts are remarkable.
Well, it sounds like it.
Am I okay, Scott?
Yeah, I mean, so far, so we'll muster through it somehow. You know, okay. Now, when was the last tournament, and what was the, you know, well, and better yet, just right now on the tournament deal, this time of year, here it is, 1st April. Let's just say here in the Midwest or whatever. I mean, in the South, they're all spawning. The temperature is rising, so everybody's catching them on the banks or whatever. But what do you think the best technique right now is for people to catch crappie here in the Midwest? Water temperature around 50 degrees.
Well, I tell you, this time of year, Scott, I will always start shallow. And fish they're not going up there to spawn yet, but they are going up to feed. And that's because that's where the warmest water is going to be. It's up in the shallows. Your higher level of oxygen and stuff is going to be up there in them shallow waters. So them fish are going to migrate up there following the bait fish and stuff. So as soon as ice is out, basically, you know, unfortunately this year we had to deal with a lot of ice. I'll follow them fish right up in that 3-4 foot of water. There'll still be a lot of fish hanging out there in that 10 to 15 foot range. But it seems like them big fish are going to want to move shallow first. Same way spawn. It seems like them big fish spawn first.
You're talking about the males, so coming in first. I mean, are you talking about the females too?
Absolutely. They're all up there feeding right now. Unfortunately, I have not been on a lake in the Midwest since ice out. It's just, you know, with the weather and stuff being so crazy. I travel for a living right now. You know, I'm in a hotel. I spend, you know, 3 to 4 nights a week in a hotel. So it's tough. It's tough to stay in contact with the fish for me. So that's where your good electronics really help out. Just because I'm not at home right now doesn't mean I'm not looking at lake maps, looking on Google Earth and stuff like that, trying to collect all the information I can about a lake before I ever show up to the lake. I already know my starting spots.
You know, you're talking about electronics. I mean, you're not talking about you having to get $5,000 electronics. I mean, you know, you can have electronics that's less than $800, and as long as you got a good map in there, that's basically the key, is it not?
That's the key. That's the key to everything. Lake maps have helped me win more money than any side imaging unit has. Matter of fact, the first classic I ever won in our club, wasn't because of side imaging, it's because I sat down and looked at a lake map. Once we figured out where the fish were and what they were relating to, look at the lake map, and they're going to do the same thing across the lake. And that's, I tell you, reading the lake maps is by far the best tool you can have. And you can get them online. I've got an app on my phone, Navionics boating map, and it's pretty dang accurate. So, but
you know, and that's
with today's technology too, Scott. With all this new stuff coming out every other year, there's a lot of good units out there for sale that are used that most people can afford to go out and get themselves to really with good lake maps and stuff. So don't overlook them used units. Them things seem to hold on for a long time. I've had mine for a long time, a lot of hours on them, and they're still working.
Well, you know, when they came out, they were, as Snoop Dogg would say, they were the fashizzle dizzle. So, yeah. I mean, you know, I'm not too sure. I'm sure they're all getting better and better, but I don't know how they can get any, that much better. So, yeah, that's a deal. And, you can look on Facebook, and especially in that trade and swap page or whatever, guys are selling those all the time. And any of the big three, I would say, with, Humminbird, Lowrance, Garmin, I guess even Ray Marine or whatever, but any of those units would be great for that. But what you're saying is right now that you're just thinking here in the Midwest, even just start going. Now you're talking about shallow. Now you looking at like in the coves, or are you looking at the main lake, or what are you looking at?
The lakes that I get to fish, we don't have a whole lot of coves, but definitely if your lake has coves on it, definitely go back in them coves. Early April especially. Well, I've got one lake, Geist, I mean, you fished it. There's one cove on there that the deepest spot may be 4 foot. That thing will absolutely load up with crappie right now. I'm dying to get out there right now. Unfortunately, last weekend I couldn't get out, but hopefully this weekend. Of course, with Mother Nature, someone needs to wake Mother Nature up and let her know it's spring. I'm tired of seeing snow this year, but
yeah,
I look forward to going out there and hitting that 3-4 foot of water.
Yeah, the thing about this time of year, is, do you think? I mean, now not everybody. Now, would you be thinking of one poling, or would you be thinking spider rigging?
Spider rigging right now. To me right now, this time of year, the fish aren't really relating too much to structure. They're more in the feeding mode. They're going to be scattered out, so you need to be on the move. Whether you're throwing a bobber, casting it out, working it, just covering a lot of water that way, or if you're spider rigging, long lining, to me, you need to be moving. The tournament that we weighed in 12:29 on day 2 down Neely Henry was the second highest weight of the tournament out of all the boats. We did it. We figured them out on day 2. We had to be moving 0.7 to 0.9 mile an hour, and big fish did not want it going slow. So they wanted. We figured them out with jigs. Shiners worked a little bit, but we figured them out with these crappie magnets, black and chartreuse crappie magnets. We were pushing them that fast, and that triggered that bite. It was like a reaction strike. I wish we'd have figured them out on day 1 like that. They bumped up a few spots, but you got to keep checking all the time. These fish change, their mood changes. When condition changes, you got to keep changing up with them.
We had Matt Morgan here was asking us to mention that the you guys, your next tournament, I guess, must be on Ross Barnett. And Matt, we'll be getting to that in just a little bit about the tournament trail here in just a minute. We've got a few people on here that's been, of course, Brian Wells says, "Hey Tom," you know Brian Wells?
Hey, I know Brian.
And then, of course, our old buddy Ryan Letterman here, who I think slept on this page last night. So when it came on, he'd be ready. He was just asking, what water temperature are you targeting right now?
Right now, our water temp's only about 45 to maybe 48 degrees. Our water's cold still in central Indiana. Down south, I was talking to some people that's on Ross Barnett right now. They're looking at 67 to 70 degrees. Them fish are spawning down there right now. Which, by the way, that ACT tournament's coming up here. It's on the 21st and 22nd, I believe, or 20th and 21st. It's a Friday, Saturday. You need to be signed up the Sunday before that because we start official practice on that Monday. Once official practice starts, you can't sign up after that point, which I really like that rule simply because I can't, you're going to have some people go out and fish. If they can't catch fish, then they're not going to sign up. You're committed. Come Sunday night, you're committed. You're either going to fish, go out and enjoy yourself, or you're just going to donate. And, if the weather gets bad, if you decide to stay home, that's fine. But we're committed right now. Once you pay your entry fee, you're in it's a real deal. And I want everyone to know. Too. Look, to me, there's no such thing as a professional crappie fisherman out there. There's no one out there making a living doing it except for your guides. Okay, there are guides doing it, but no tournament anglers are out there making a living doing it. We all have these 40-hour-a-week jobs or 50 or 60 hours a week, and I feel that anybody out there can come out there and compete with us. Don't be intimidated by all these wrap boats and stuff like that because, a lot of people got some great sponsors, but that doesn't make them a better fisherman. It just means that they know how to promote products. Now, I know there's some people that probably are intimidated. Yeah.
You're saying all that stuff on a boat? Come on. They got that stuff because they're good fishermen, though, did they not?
Well, yeah. I mean, they're good at promoting. There's a lot of great anglers out there that have got their boats wrapped, and there's a lot of better anglers out there that don't have a wrap boat, that don't have sponsorship. So I welcome everyone to come out and at least check out a weigh-in. You guys are going to be definitely impressed.
Now, let's see. I'm trying to think if I had. Ryan Letterman says I was hard on him tonight. I'm picking at him, so I better let him know I'm just kind of kidding with him. Jeff Falkenberry says the shallow fish are active fish, which I think you touched on a little bit right there. And Max Clark, my old buddy Max, said they're heading to film at Horseshoe Lake, Arkansas next weekend. Said they're in the trees, or the temperature might have changed water. They may be jigging. So then I got a deal here from Ron Bilbrey. Ron Bilbrey? You know Ron Bilbrey?
I know Ron real well.
Yeah, he said,
probably
hey, Tom.
spent more time with him than I have. I've probably spent more time with
him. Hey, now look out. Hold on.
Wife these past couple years.
We may not even want to see. We may not even want to hear that.
No, it's all.
Yeah, we may not want to hear that.
It's all
good. All right. So you've got the tournament coming up here down at Ross Barnett here about the middle of the month. All right. So
yes,
you think they're going to be in full blown spawn, or do you think that's going to be post spawn?
You know what? There's going to be a few fish left that haven't spawned. I feel that the majority will be done by that time. It's going to be one of these tournaments. Probably it's going to be won by catching male fish.
Yeah.
I hate to throw that out there right now, but that's probably going to be our target fish right now. That lake, from hearing the reports that I've heard, sounds like we're looking at some pretty big weights. And I look forward to it. Anytime a guy can go catch a pound and a half plus fish consistently, we've already won. You know, we're going to have fun catching fish.
Yeah. Now, what's going to be your technique?
Our go-to technique's always spider rigging first. However, at Grenada last year, we won at single poling using 16-foot B&M Pro Staff trolling rods in 18 inches of water. Yeah. I tell you what, I couldn't lift my arm for 2 days after 2 days of fishing in the cold, wind, rain, sleet. It was pretty miserable. But hey, we walked away with a brand new Ranger boat. So every tournament at the American Crappie Trail, they give away a brand new Ranger bass boat.
Wow. Well, that sounds like a heck of a deal right there. Now they shoot TV on that too, because they've got their own TV show. Is that correct?
They sure do, and it's now on the Pursuit Channel Tuesday nights at 8:30, I believe Eastern Time, 8:30 on the Pursuit Channel. That's also on Fox Sports Midwest or Fox Sports South on Saturday mornings at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time, so 5:30 a.m. So it's a great show. It's better than any crappie fishing show that I've ever seen. The format it's awesome. So if you haven't seen it yet, you need to sit down and watch it.
Yeah,
one time you'll be hooked.
I haven't. I don't get the Pursuit Channel, but I get Fox Sports Midwest. You know, that's one of my homeboys right there. Heck, I aired on that thing for 12 years. I think Jeremy Mattingly right here called you out. He said, "Isn't this considered public information?" And I think Matt has come back and said, "Oh yeah, so you may have some splaining to do here, talking that here before the tournament." So I'm not too sure that you're supposed to be. I was just asking you a technique. I wasn't telling you everything, so you can just spill it out there and get in trouble with the tournament director. I want you guys. Matt, I want you to know that I have nothing to do with that part. Yeah, said. So it sounds like we probably got a few more people that got online over at his motel that gets him kind of jittery in and out. I told him he looked like in the old days from MTV Max Headroom when he was just kind of moving around real slow. Now, Tom, I mean, now in the tournaments, I can understand where you want to do the spider rigging or whatever, but that's a love-hate thing with people. I mean, people either love spider rigging or they do it in a tournament in order to win, but then there's a lot of people that just hate it and despise it. They won't do it. So what is a good alternative method to spider rigging right now?
A great alternative I got my start was a long line. But if you got a boat with the trolling, you can go out as simple as casting a jig out and turning the trolling motor on, point it forward, and just going across the lake. You're going to find fish. Crappie love to suspend, especially in the warmer months. They'll really be suspended out there on the main lakes and stuff like that. Just go out there and cover the water. It's that simple, Throw a couple jigs on. Throw some road runners on there, crappie magnet, thin spins. They're something new. They work really well.
I got a question here.
Favorite technique, though.
Okay, I got a question here from Troy Williams. It says, "Hey Tom, thanks for representing Indiana. What do you look for when you fish a new lake?" So I guess that kind of fits into what you're talking about right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, when I go, of course, this time of year, I'm going to look at that lake map. I'm going to find these shallow water spots that's out there on the main lake. Them fish have been out there on the main lake all winter long. I'm going to look for these shallow water spots. There's things like that. Anything different. Some lakes have got a defined creek channel. If you got the target, promise you got stump along that from the shoreline. And fish needs something to relate to.
Well, I can see Tom's kind of froze up. I can tell you right now the way this internet thing works. I wouldn't be surprised if one night this one isn't full of something other than what I'm drinking water tonight. This is one of these things that can make you sure enough drink. But we'll wait on Tom to kind of come back into screen here. And but this is the American Crappie Trail that he is on here. I know they've got a Facebook page on that, and also I'm sure about their website. I'm sure you can just Google American Crappie Trail, and you can check this thing out. This is I think this is the second year that they've had this American Crappie Trail, and from all indications, everything I've heard, it's just been a wonderful thing for the crappie anglers. I mean, there's a lot of good crappie trails out there, a lot of good tournament circuits out there. I'm not trying to just single out one, but this is the one that Tom is affiliated with, so I wanted to just make sure that we give them a shout out, and for all that they're doing for crappie fishing, which I still think is the #1 freshwater fish out there. Tom may be gone. He's got a look on his face, kind of like what I would be needing to look like right now if I had a little something in my glass. That's about the way I'd look with the way Tom's froze on the screen right there. I hope he answered some of you guys' questions. What you can do, he'll get back on here in just a little bit, and he's just now saying that he was logging back in because apparently we had lost him. But he can, any of the questions that you might have for Tom, you can get on there, and he'll come back through after the podcast, and then he can answer your questions for you. Just type them out. Yeah, he is looks like he is gone. So anyway, I'll hang on here just for a little bit and see if he can get him some signal, and see if he can get back on here and see. But I want to talk a little bit with the people right here. Don't blame Fripp for the internet problems. These are the fine people that are bringing this, and this is something that is very cool. Tom, you with us again?
I'm trying.
Are you back? You're back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me get off of this phone.
Man, I will tell you, boys, y'all just don't know what this has done right here. Somebody on here earlier just said I looked like I had aged. Well, let me tell you something. Doing something like this will dang sure put the age on you right here. It wasn't just but about 3 months ago I was solid black-headed. I want you to look. Yeah, solid black-headed. All right, Tom, I don't know where we left off. You were talking if you went into a new lake. You said you'd be long lining if you didn't want to a spider rig.
Yeah. Okay. I'll catch up to you in a minute.
Who was you talking to? The guy at the hotel or me?
Well, I'm hearing a replay. Okay, now I've caught up to you. Okay, yeah. When I go to the lake, if I'm not set up to spider rig, if I ain't set up to spider rig, but long lining is definitely. I gotta ask you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm hearing myself talk now.
Take your earpiece out.
Okay. Now I'll just talk to you. Can you hear me just fine? Put the thumbs up. Okay. All right, so when I go to a new body of water, say I'm not set up a spider rig, I don't carry my stuff with me. I'm definitely going to long line troll. Long line trolling is a very effective way. Pretty much grew up doing that effectively. Back when I was a kid, we dragged bobbers behind the boat with jigs until we found that school of fish, and then we just stopped the boat, cast to them fish, and slowly just catch our limit before you know it. But my favorite technique overall is, I love vertical jigging. That the thrill of catching 2.5 to 3 pound crappies on them 16-foot B&Ms down there on Grenada Lake, that was amazing. I wish they could have got a camera in our boat. Unfortunately, the cameraman got stuck trying to get to us during that tournament, so they didn't get any onboard footage. Because I would love nothing more to relive that tournament.
Got a question. Yeah. Got a question
American
here.
Crappie Trail, if you haven't done it yet, if you haven't seen it, you need to get out there and check it out.
Well, I got a question here from Brian Wells has got a question. You can take those out. You can take those out if you want to. But anyway, he said, when would you use... Okay. When would you use jigs with spinner blades on them, and is there a better time of year?
I just used them down there on Neely Henry. I use them all the time. Let me try this on my phone.
It's been a wonderful thing.
Just take your earpiece out. You should be all right, and turn your volume up, and then you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's replaying back. That's the bad part.
Well, when you talk, just take your earpiece out.
Okay. There we go. Bladed baits, I use them every time I go out. There's going to be days that they're more effective than any other bait out there. And there's going to be other times that they're not as effective. These fish are a little more lethargic. They're not going after that reaction strike. So I'll throw both of them out there. That's the beautiful thing about spider rigging. I can throw multiple baits out there. I can have bladed baits. I can have just straight up minnow or shiner. I can have a jig, and then I can have a jig tipped with the shiner. So good question, Brian. Don't ever overlook the bladed baits out there. The Roadrunners, the fin spins, anything like that. Anything to throw a little vibration or maybe just a shine in the water, a flash.
All right. Next thing, I guess, is, on this crappie tournament, on this American Crappie Trail, do you have to qualify for these tournaments, or is this something that anybody can just, if they've got an entry fee, they can get in?
Good question. To fish American Crappie Trail, all you got to do is join American Crappie Trail online and pay your entry fee. The way they work it's a beautiful thing. On American Crappie Trail Classic, they're doing something that no one's ever done before. They're pretty much formatted after the Bass Masters and the FLW, where the Classic is going to be a 3-day event this year, and it's going to be held on Lake Yarbone, Louisiana, and you have to qualify to fish this tournament. They're only allowing 100 boats to fish this. That's it. We're fishing for a $45,000 Ranger bass boat. On day one, there's going to be 100 boats out there. We're going to cut that down after day one. It's going to go to the top 50. After day two, it's going to be cut down to the top 25. So on day three, you're going to have the 25 leading boats out there competing for a brand new Ranger bass boat. And in order to do that, you have to qualify. You have to finish in the top 5. I believe that's the way it was last year. You got to finish in the top 5 or you qualify on points. But I know for a fact you have to qualify on points this year. For sure. And you go out there and you fish 3, maybe 4 tournaments, get yourself qualified, come down and fish the Yarbone. I'm telling you what, even if you don't finish in the top 50 after day one, the fishing experience you're going to have on that lake is unbelievable. You can go out there and consistently catch 10.5, 11 pounds multiple times, and I'm talking 7 fish here. So you're talking 1.5 pounds plus average on these fish. So you can do that multiple times every day. And I was fortunate enough to do that last March, and I had a ball. My hands were so sore from taking off fish all week long. I look forward to going back down there, and you won't find a better place down there. Friendly people.
All right. Now I know you got to qualify for that year-end tournament, but what about just, for any of the tournaments beforehand? I mean, as long as you've got a boat, you sign up online and then pay your entry fee and get in?
Yes. Your boat, you need to have a good live well on your boat. That is a requirement. You're allowed, they do a lot of drive-through weigh-ins, kind of like you see on Bassmasters and stuff like that. It's always, and it's not they're doing it. They've got a full production crew there, for TV. That's going to be our Facebook Live. It's really amazing. It's something special to see. If you haven't seen one, show up at a weigh-in down at Ross Barnett. Check us out, or come fish it with us. That'd be better yet. It's a lot of fun. There's one thing about it. You're going to find out these crappie anglers, they're a fun group of people to be with. You're going to learn so much from these folks. And we all become family. I've made so many friends over the years fishing crappie tournaments that I become, we become a big family. When we show up to register, everybody's saying hi to everybody. So it's something special.
Well, then I'd say that down there, they'll be, like you said, they'll be on the spawn. Up here, I don't think they're quite spawning yet. So you've got several opportunities out there, guys, to get out there and crappie fish. Check out the American Crappie Trail on the Pursuit channel. Check the times on that. Get on their Facebook page, like them. You can keep up with everything. You can also follow Tom. It seems like everybody that tries to follow me on my Facebook page, I look on there and seeing who's my mutual friends, and it seems like 8 out of 10 of them say Tom Hankins. So I think that obviously everybody out there is following Tom on his Facebook page, and it's no wonder why. He's a great crappie fisherman. You can learn a lot from him. I know I did when I got to fish with him. Enjoyed my time with him. Our internet, like I said, it's been giving us grief. It's been crazy. I hate it that sometimes he kind of cut out a little bit, but that's just that's the nature of the beast in this business. I want to thank everybody for coming in and watching and asking questions. And like I said, you can continue to ask questions even after the podcast is over. You can get on here and ask them questions on here. Tom will get on there, and he'll be able to see all the comments and everything that are on there to where he can answer some questions for you. Let's see. It says anybody can go do pour concrete for a living, and I can go fish. See, okay. Let's see what this question is. Anybody can go and do it. I pour concrete for a living, and I can go fish with the guys that I only get to see in videos. That came from Jeremy Mattingly. So that's pretty cool, Jeremy. Thank you. I mean, that's exactly right. This isn't anything like BASS or FLW. This is something to where anybody can do it, even me. And shoot, I probably couldn't catch a crappie by myself, save my life. I've been put on fish for the past 12 or 13 years by everybody, and I don't even know if I could, but if I wanted to get in, and I could probably get in there too. And yeah, and also and Tom is a little bit taller than it shows on TV. He's just kind of squatty right now. But anyway, Tom, before we sign off, while we've got good signal, is there anything that you want to pass along out there to maybe some first-time crappie guys, some guys that are learning, some equipment tips? What's some of the best rod holders, rods, line, baits, whatever. Just here's your chance to shine right here.
Well, Scott, I tell you, it's the beautiful thing about our sport of crappie fishing. Anybody can go out there and get himself a bucket of minnows and go to the bank and catch fish. You know, you don't need to go out and spend $60,000 on a bass boat. Go out there and just enjoy yourself off the dock somewhere. That's a beautiful thing about crappie fishing. There's one thing that's we need to talk about too. Is I heard you say this one time. You said this, Scott, was you know, someone talks about how the bass are biting at a lake. You show up at the boat ramp and there'll be 6 or 8 boats and, you know, trailers in the parking lot. But someone says the crappies are biting, you better get there early because they'll fill the parking lot real quick. So there's a lot to be said about crappie anglers. They're great table fare. We do our part though as tournament anglers to make sure that we always put them bigger fish back. That's our breeding stock. We love catching them big fish. It's one thing about it. You'll always remember catching that big fish, but you'll never remember eating it. So I highly suggest turning them bigger fish loose. Enjoy them again. I know we're breaking up really bad here, so.
No, actually, you were doing pretty good. You were doing pretty good, and you are right, Tom, on what I've said. I've said that for years, and it's only because that's just common knowledge. I mean, it don't matter what lake you're at. You know, I know that the big money is in the bass fishing, and I'm certainly not going to knock that. But you know, there may be 2 or 3 boats show up if you say they're just literally biting on bare hooks. But if you said that there's a possibility that the crappie may start biting at any given day, you can't find a parking spot. I mean, these people go out here and, you know, for the most part, bass fishermen will crappie fish, but there ain't that many crappie fishermen that actually bass fish. So, you know, that's just the unsung hero in this world is the crappie. And to me, it's the most fun fish to catch because the one thing that everybody can agree on when crappie fishing is it's not the size of them because they're not that big. It's not the fight. They really don't fight. It's the one thing. It's just the one thing. And it's that's it. Right there. We just want the thump.
Yeah.
We just want the thump. And I think that's why a lot of people don't enjoy the spider rigging is because it's so impersonal. You know, you don't actually feel the thump. You're spread out right here and you just see a rod bounce or whatever and then you lift him up. It's still fun. It's just like I just shot a piece on my YouTube page, on G3 Sportsman YouTube page about the love-hate relationship with spider rigging and my pros and cons that I did on that. And that was one of the things that I had mentioned is because, you know, when you're fishing out there, you see the tip of your pole going, but you don't feel it. You just don't feel that big girl thump it. And that's what we want. The best fun is when you're casting and you're reeling in and boom. I mean, that, man, there ain't nothing better than that. I got another question. Right. Got another question right here. It says from Tommy Creason. Tommy Creason says, Tom, what's your advice on cold, muddy water? So as long as we've got you out here, you go ahead and answer that.
Yeah. Well, my best advice on cold, muddy water. Now listen up. Stay home. No, honestly, if you're forced to fish cold, muddy water, there's one thing you need to do is really slow down. You need to use some bigger baits. You need to use some dark baits, black chartreuse. You can never go wrong with black chartreuse anywhere you go, whether it's clean water, muddy water, whatever. But you need to really slow down. You need to put some live bait on her, tip that thing with the minnow or whatever. You need some kind of movement on underwater. You know, all fish got that lateral line. That helps them feed when they can't see. So if we can put a little vibration in the water, have a little scent to go with it. And one more thing too is If you were catching them fish prior to muddy water, and they were in 10, 12 foot of water, them fish aren't in 10, 12 foot of water anymore. They might be above 10 or 12 foot of water, but they're only going to be down 2 to 3 feet. They're going to come up to where there's enough light penetration where they can see to the feed. So,
you know, another thing you'd mentioned about the catch and release. I mean, with the electronics and stuff that we have, and Buster always makes an appearance on here, so
yeah.
I had to show Buster. You know, with the electronics and we have, it's getting to where these fish can't hardly hide from us, even though we still have to catch them. The one thing, you know, we don't have to catch and keep everything. I mean, it's you know, I know it makes everybody kind of feel better if they just feel like they got to bring home a mess, and they've got to give somebody a mess of crappie, you know, and so it makes them feel good when you say, well, so and so gave me a mess of crappie, or oh, so and so, he keeps my freezer, you know, full all the time, and for the most part they freezer burn and you don't even get to eat them. And so it's one of them deals, just catch you a mess and take them home, and when you're done eating them crappie, then go out and then keep you another mess. But you don't have to just keep all of them. And the big females like that, you know, I prefer to eat the 10, 11 inch, the smaller crappie anyway. I think they're easier to clean. They taste better. Those big crappie, I'd just soon put them back. Their life expectancy isn't that long anyway. And especially if she's full of eggs, put her back, and that's only just going to replenish the fish that are out there. And of course, now I'm not out here just all holier than thou and saying, guys, don't keep any crappie, because that's not the case, because I don't have any crappie right now, and I want to go out and catch a mess of crappie. But you know, just do it in moderation. There's no reason to keep more than that, and the catch and release, they're just as fun to catch the next time as they are. And like you said, you might not remember that fish that you ate, but you'll surely remember that 2-pound crappie that you caught and let loose. But anyway, we want to thank Tom for coming on here. I know we've had some internet issues, and it's just been crazy, and it's been fun. We want to thank Fripp and Folly. Check them out, frippandfolly.com. Again, some of the coolest outdoor T-shirts. I mean, high quality. I just showed this earlier in the podcast. As you can see, that this one right here has just got a stringer of crappie on it. They've got any of the kind of T-shirt, the wicking shirts, very comfortable. High quality shirts for the outdoor enthusiast, and I guarantee you they'll have a outdoor pattern on a shirt that would fit your needs. So, Tom, we're going to let you get. We thank you for taking a little time out of your evening, staying there. You are from Indianapolis via Potosi, Missouri now, but we've really enjoyed our time.
I appreciate you having me on here. You know, one more thing I want to talk about was high-vis line, okay? High-vis line, crappie are not afraid of line. They're not line shy at all. Slime line is a line that me and my tournament partner started using last year. Incredible. The stuff never fades. So I just want to throw that out there.
All right. Well, that's good info. Any of the high-vis line, check out Slime Line. In fact, I met those guys at the Catfish Conference last month in Louisville, and really nice young men that were representing and have with Slime Line, and they're good folks. But anyway, we're going to get out of here before Tom freezes up and gets out anyway. Of course, now would have probably been the time to go. You're doing good. Everybody upstairs in the motels off their computers, and now we're running good. But we've kept you on here long enough. I want to thank everybody for joining. Tune in next week. Just know every Monday night we're going to have a podcast with somebody in the outdoor industry, and that's why on this page you see it says "We hope," because that's usually what it is. We kind of hope.
Well, everyone got off. They're probably watching the ball game.
Yeah, and it's just time for the ball game to come on. So see, we've got that going for us, and everybody watch the ball. And now, who you picking?
Thanks, Scott. I appreciate it, bud.
Who you picking for the game before we go?
Well, we got to go for Michigan, Big Ten, right?
Yeah, I ain't got a dog in the hunt, so I don't really care. So, But anyway, we're going to sign off here. Tom, thank you very much for coming on here. Tom's a great guy. I know you'll learn a lot from him. I enjoyed my time with him. We've been friends now ever since we fished together several years ago over there at in Indianapolis, and I just want to thank him. Tom's a great guy. He's an ambassador for the sport. He's also a G3 man, so you know that puts him high on the pedestal right there on his smarts. But we're going to sign off. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, tune in next Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you never know what knuckle. Yeah, I know Ryan Letterman. I know he'll be back. He'll have it better. But we'll have somebody on here, and we'll have some fun, and look forward to seeing everybody again. So we're signing off. Thank you. Go to frippandfolly.com. Check them out. Check out the American Crappie Trail. And Tom, we'll see you, buddy.